Hello, guys, and welcome back to the FPL Duo. We're back for KNEEJERK stream. And yeah, it's been a mad game week. Obviously, we're in game week 16. A lot to discuss, I think. A lot of mad talking points this game week, injuries, hauls. We're going to get into it all. And yeah, what a weekend for football. How you doing, Jordan?
Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm just trying to get my head around them. Obviously, this game week 17, it's been like musical chairs, literally, with players coming in and out and shocking hauls at late minutes of games. It's been a madness of a weekend, I think, in terms of football.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to break it all down, I'm guessing. And yeah, I mean, where do we begin? So we've just finished watching Newcastle v Tottenham. And I don't know if anyone saw that coming. That result obviously is a huge win. I think 4-0 or 4-1, I should say, for Spurs. And yeah, it's a big result, really. Got a few comments coming in. Fruit plug, great game week. We've got Alex in the chat as well. The one week I forgot to change my vice captaincy, and it was on Son. Oh wow, you got the Son points then. That's brilliant. 69 points and up to 130k. That's great. You can't really get in that vice captaincy. We'll come on to the vice captaincy situation and what happened, obviously, with Haaland, because no one saw that coming. Chief as well in the chat. Well done breaking into top 1 mil Huss. Yeah, we're going to discuss it all. So let's start off with my team and how it's gone so far. And, all in all, it's been a very good game week. So let's kick it off with my goalkeeper, Areola, who I did start. And as you guys know, Areola was again injured. He didn't play. So I got the auto sub for Dubravka. And Dubravka didn't really do much better. He did concede 4 goals to Spurs, also gave away a penalty for the Son goal. So he didn't have a great game, but I don't think anyone in Newcastle, in a Newcastle shirt, played well. So Dubravka comes in, gets a blank for the 2-pointer. Happy I did the move anyway, because at least it gets me 2 points, whereas I would have had a non-playing goalkeeper if I didn't do that Dubravka move last week. Into the defense then, and again, nothing to really discuss here. So as you guys know, I did start Haaland. And obviously, I think it was around Saturday. Saturday, yesterday, around like, I want to say like 8:30, news dropped that Haaland was gonna miss out. He's not traveled with the squad. I can't remember the name of the guy, I'm sorry, who did actually tweet it out as well. Obviously mentioning about Haaland news. It came to fruition. Haaland did miss out. And obviously I got Saliba's points off the bench. However, we know Arsenal did lose 1-0 to Aston Villa in that big game as well. So I ended up getting the 2 points off the bench for Saliba for Haaland. So again, nothing great, but still better than a blank, I guess. So Saliba comes in for Haaland for the 2-pointer. Obviously Gabriel, same game. He doesn't really get much either, 2-pointer. So, the Arsenal double defense definitely hasn't paid off yet so far for me. And I believe I'll be removing one of them because I just don't think it's worth having double Arsenal defense at the moment in time. Livramento, not really, again, much to say. Newcastle concede 4 goals. Last week, they conceded 3 goals. So Newcastle are shipping a lot of goals. That's now 7 goals conceded in 2 matches, which isn't like Newcastle, with their defense, how strong they usually are. But yeah, again, Trippier, I thought, struggled a lot. I thought he was all over the place. Livramento didn't cover himself in glory either. So yeah, he comes away with that 1-pointer. And yeah, it's not really much to discuss there. And then finally, to complete the back, obviously has Tsimikas, who blanked in the Liverpool 2-1 win, late win, I should say, for Liverpool. I didn't think we'd get the win in the end, but yeah, big win for Liverpool. But obviously Tsimikas didn't get anything from that game. Moving into the midfield, I'll get the bad out the way first, I think. Obviously Gordon blanks, and he was subbed off after like 70-80 minutes, I think. 73 minutes subbed off. Gordon blanks against Spurs in the 4-1 loss. Disappointing, but I'm still quite happy with Gordon longer term because he's cheap, and I did bring him in for next week he's got Fulham, then it's Luton, then it's Forest. So I don't think the next 3 fixtures aren't too bad for Gordon, so I'm happy to hold. Then Palmer is one to discuss. I don't know why he's flagged. He's got is he suspended or Because he picked. No, sorry, he's not. He picked up a yellow
No.
card today.
I think it's injury, but I think serious.
He's
Maybe.
not flagged on the website as of now. But yeah, to discuss Palmer, played 90 minutes, got a yellow card, and yeah, blanked. He didn't really. I didn't watch the game, so I can't comment on how he played. I caught the last 10, 20 minutes of the game. Obviously, Chelsea didn't look great. Another poor performance from Chelsea as a whole. Palmer, again, it is a blank, but again, we know Chelsea's fixtures are pretty good on paper now, and maybe this will stop people bringing in Palmer now, because obviously a lot of people are looking at Palmer. Maybe this loss for Chelsea, 2 losses in a row to Man United and Everton, might stop the people bringing in Palmer. So yeah, another blank for Palmer, but I'm still happy to hold him going forward. Saka did blank in the game against Aston Villa, so a bit disappointed there. But he has had a few returns in terms of assists, but nothing against Aston Villa. For Aston Villa played really well, and nullified Arsenal's threat. And moving on to the two main talking points. Let's start off with Son again. Obviously we saw Son, a magnificent performance from Son. I thought that was an amazing game from Son. Absolutely brilliant. I can't put more words into. He was just running the game. He's up and down everywhere, terrorizing Newcastle pretty much. Every time it felt like Son got the ball, he was going to score a goal. He could have had a lot more, a couple of more passes into him, and I feel like he could have scored more goals. Also could have maybe another assist. He was on fire. He does come away with a 17-pointer after his 2 assists. Obviously, he scored the penalty as well that he made for himself after Dubravka fouled him. And luckily for me, he also got the clean sheet point because he got subbed off late, and then soon as after the sub, Spurs did concede. So that was great because I don't have any Spurs defenders, so that helped my rank in that way. But we had the discussion, I remember, in the chat in this stream. Can't remember what game week it was. I want to say game week 13 when Spurs lost to Aston Villa 2-1. And a lot of people sold Son after game week 13 because he scored 3 goals, but they were all offside. And I said, for me, that's a positive. To score 3 goals and be slightly offside, etc. As long as you're getting the chances, for me, I said this back then, which is why I was shocked that people are selling Son, because if you're a player and you're getting that many chances a game, for me, that's only a positive. That's why another player, Darwin Núñez, I will never give up on Darwin Núñez, because ultimately, I'd rather have a player that's getting chances and missing them rather than a player that's not getting any chances, like a Saka, for example, who's barely having shots. So for me, keeping Son obviously was a no-brainer. Obviously, I was worried in terms of his injury because he was flagged before the game, but I'm glad he did play. And obviously, without Son getting that return, I'd probably get a red arrow. So it was big that he did return. In terms of Salah, of course, a lot of us had him as vice captain, so we're a bit fortunate. I mean, I think non-Haaland owners are a bit unlucky because Haaland would have blanked. Or actually, we don't know that for sure, actually. So if Haaland played, he probably does score against Luton. So we don't know what would have happened. But obviously, Salah plays. I didn't think Salah was great. I didn't think Liverpool were great, actually. I thought Liverpool were pretty shocking for about 75 minutes until that red card. Liverpool didn't really do anything. I thought they struggled big time. But Salah, as I say, he has that knack. No matter how bad Salah can play in a game, he will just get that one chance in the box and it's a goal. He's that sort of player that he doesn't need to be playing great to get a goal. And obviously he got that assist, which again was a bit he just passed it to Elliott. And obviously Elliott does the rest. Brilliant finish to win it 2-1. So yeah, Salah comes over with that goal assist. I think he got 3 bonus points as well. So yeah, happy days there in that sense. And obviously as my vice captain, I end up getting 26 points for him. And then finally, to complete the team, Watkins did blank against Arsenal in the 1-0 win. But again, I'm happy to own Watkins. And now he's got Brentford and Sheffield up next. So I'm glad I didn't sell Watkins when he did get that, that fake injury. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the week. Obviously, I can't complain because this is probably the biggest green arrow I've had this season. On the bench, Areola, we know he's injured. Dubravka comes in, auto sub. Haaland, we've spoke about him, and we have to have a bigger discussion on Haaland and what to do with him, because if he is out, for the Palace game next week, I definitely think he could become a transfer option, because after that he's blank, so potentially he could miss the next 2 games. Do you want to hold Haaland on the bench for 14 million when he's not going to play you 2 matches? It's definitely a decision to make. So we are going to discuss that second part of the video. Taylor picked up a yellow card in that match, so he's suspended for game week 17, I believe. So he won't play for that. And Archer, as always, blanks. And yeah, that's pretty much my team. So game week 16, again, very good for me. I'm just looking at my team. I've only got 2 returns in my team. Son and Salah. Everyone else blanked, but it's been a massive green arrow, which is kind of shocking. Because that just shows in FPL, if you just get a captaincy right or 1 or 2 players, you can still get a massive, literally 2 out of 11 players that only got a return. Yeah, it's 59 points for me. So yeah, very happy with that. I think my rank was 1.1 million. So it's like a 286k green arrow. So yeah, good going. But I think game week 17, as we'll come on to, there is a lot of discussions and what to do with transfers, because especially with suspended players. Haaland is a big one now. We're going to discuss what to do with that. But yeah, all in all, 839k now, right? Into that 1 million. And I'm hoping game week 17, I can possibly break into top 500k. I mean, that's the next target. My target was top 500k before the end of the year. And I'm getting in that right direction. So yeah, all in all, so far, so good. And yeah, let's move on to your team, Jordan. Talk us through how your game week 6 has gone as well, because obviously it's been roller coaster as well.
Yeah, it has been quite a roller coaster. I kind of wish that we kind of skip game week 17 and go on to 18, because I'm not looking forward to it at all. But yeah, let's break down game week 16. So let's start off in goal. There is a lot more success, I think, from having Leno as my goalkeeper, because yet again, he's kept another clean sheet. And on top of that, he's had a major haul of 9 points. So he got bonus 2, clean sheet, and he made 5 saves, which obviously, because he made at least 3, gave him another point on top of that. And yeah, again, Fulham win 5-0 against West Ham. That is now 10 goals in 2 games now for Fulham. Beating Nottingham Forest 5-0, and now they're beating West Ham 5-0 in a shocking defeat to West Ham. I didn't see that coming at all. I honestly didn't see a clean sheet either for Leno, but I'm happy that he's got back-to-back clean sheets, Leno, now. And it's very rare, as we've seen, for goalkeepers to keep one in, obviously, the season so far. So yeah, I'm happy with the 9 points that Leno got me so far this game week. Moving on to defence, so start off with Tsimikas. Obviously, he didn't get a clean sheet against Crystal Palace in that 2-1 win for Liverpool. Unfortunate. I think a bit unlucky that he didn't get the clean sheet there. But yeah, we move on. Obviously, 2 points is still something to bring from, obviously, defence. Moving on to the next defender, that is Branthwaite. Now, this is the annoying thing. Now, I like how Branthwaite got the clean sheet. I just don't like how he got the yellow card at the very end of the game. I'm not quite sure how he got the yellow card, but I did see he was on for bonus 1 point, because I saw him on 6, and then suddenly it switched when he got the yellow card. It went back to 5, and the bonus was taken off him. So he did get the clean sheet and 5 points, but because of that yellow card as well, he is also suspended for the next game week. So he won't be playing against Birmingham.
Yeah, I just realised that 3 of your defenders, Trippier, Branthwaite, and Taylor, suspended in it for next game week.
And also Lucadine on top of that.
We'll talk about that.
That's why I want to skip the game 17. But yeah, nice clean sheet for Branthwaite, especially in that 2-0 win over Chelsea, where me and Huss did both say we saw Everton win and potentially a clean sheet there. Moving on to the last defender, obviously that is Trippier, who comes off with -1. So yeah, we've talked about how bad Newcastle are away, and well, tonight just showed how bad they are away, losing 4-1 to Tottenham. A very shocking defeat. It looked like Trippier was dancing with Son more than dancing, while trying to tackle Son, but managed to not get anywhere near him. And obviously Son passed it to, I believe, Richarlison. Richarlison, and he scored. But yeah, he easily done Trippier. And I thought Trippier was pretty bad in that game again in terms of an away fixture. I just think Newcastle assets are only good at home. I think I'll just bench. If I see Trippier, or if I still have Trippier in an away game, I'm just going to probably bench him. But he also picked up a yellow card as well, so he is suspended for his next fixture, which would have been a home one. So yeah, he won't be playing either next week. But yeah, he does end up on -1 points. He did concede 4 goals, so that's -2. The other card -1. So yeah, he ended up on -1 points, which was very disappointing. Moving on to the midfield, where there's a little bit more success. So obviously, let's talk with Salah first. Auto vice captain swap because Haaland didn't play, because he was my captain pick. But because he didn't play Haaland, it also auto switched to Salah, who was my vice. So he ends up on 26 points. So that's quite fortunate how that ended. I think we wouldn't know how many points Haaland would have got. I still think it wouldn't have been enough to match Salah. So I'm quite happy that that sort of worked out for this week. He ended up on obviously 26 for the goal and the assist and the bonus 3 points. Moving on to the next player, that is Matoma. Again, this was very annoying. He got benched in that Burnley fixture, so he only played 45 minutes. I think he came on after the first half and only managed to get 1 point in that 1-1 draw against Burnley. So, yeah, it's literally hot and cold for Matoma. I like him, obviously, when he starts, but Zerbi likes to bench him in between matches, which...
Yeah, I didn't see that one coming, to be fair.
I sort of half see it coming and expect it now, because it's not the first time he has benched Matoma, but there is a short period of fixtures, I suppose, and he doesn't really want to prefer playing Matoma all the time, but I kind of wish he did, because he's obviously in my team, which affects it. Moving on to the next midfielder, so Saka, yeah, he didn't get anything because Arsenal did not score. Aston Villa did pretty well. Big wins for Aston Villa against Man City and now against Arsenal. Yeah. On top of that, they've both kept clean sheets as well, Aston Villa. So back-to-back clean sheets. Unbelievable. And how well Emery's done for our Aston Villa. I thought it was a nice goal as well from that game. But yeah, Aston Villa were pretty good, pretty dangerous at home against Arsenal. But yeah, no return for Saka this week. Moving on to the next midfielder, that is Hwang. So he did play 90 minutes, but unfortunately he did not get any returns from that game, even though Wolves scored and it was a draw in the end. It was 1-1, which was a surprise. I thought Nottingham Forest would concede a lot more, but only Cunha was part of the goals in that game. So whoever brought in Cunha is looking pretty good right now. But yeah, Hwang was quiet in this fixture, but he only comes off with 2 points. And finally, move on to the front three forwards. So obviously Wissa, he was quiet in that Sheffield United game. Brentford actually lost that game 1-0, which was quite a surprise, really. I didn't think Sheffield United would win that game, even though it's a home fixture for them. That's a massive win in terms of the relegation battle they're in. So yeah, big cheers for Sheffield United, but nothing for Brentford. 0 goals, and Wissa with the blank with 2 points. We move on to the final two, and that is the Man City forward. So obviously Alvarez, he did get an assist from that 2-1 win against Luton. I thought Luton played really well in the first half. Like we've seen before, Luton play really well at home. I think throughout that game, I thought they were pretty good. I think a 2-1 result against Man City, even though it's a loss, I think the manager should be very proud of what Luton's achieved so far, even though that came off of a massive defeat and they deserved something out of that game. I think, yeah, that's still a good result in terms of who they're facing. But yeah, Alvarez does get 5 points, and he did play 90 minutes, which sort of worked because obviously Haaland being out, that means Alvarez was the main man up front. Moving on to obviously Haaland, yeah, he was the auto sub, so he was moved onto the bench, which meant that obviously Taylor came on for Haaland and he got 1 point. So no clean sheet for Taylor in that 1-1 draw against Brighton. And yeah, that's pretty much the starting 11. And obviously the bench got Areola, who didn't start, on 0. Obviously Haaland's on 0. Luka Dean got a clean sheet, but he also got a yellow card as well, as I mentioned earlier on. So he is suspended for Gameweek 17 fixture. And also Mbeumo is injured, so he didn't feature in the Sheffield United one. But pretty much this Gameweek looked really good until that Spurs game, because I was on 39k prior to Son getting 2 assists and scoring the goal. And yeah, obviously after that, it did send my rank back down. It's still a green, but it's a very small green. I was on 75k I'm now on 69. So it's a small 6k green arrow, which I think I'll take, considering how this week has gone. It's not been the best game week, but it has been an average, I'll say, not the worst. And yeah, 54 game week points, so not too bad. And yeah, game week 17.
Yeah, game week 17 is what we're going to obviously go on to now. And yeah, game week 16, it's been a mad one. I think game week 17 could be an even bigger mad one, really, with the way the fixtures are and the injuries, etc., and suspensions. So let's pull up our teams for game week 17. I'll just pull up my bus team currently. Just changed the screen. I'm just going to zoom in. Yeah. So hopefully you guys can see that okay. Just move it a bit more. Let me zoom out a bit. Can you see that fine?
Yeah, that's
slow on my screen. Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
So there you go, guys. That is currently what my team looks like for game week 17. So I'll read it out. In goal, I have Dubravka, who's got Fulham at home. Now, I'm not so sure about this because Fulham are on a goal-scoring streak, pretty much, scoring 5 goals and stuff. So I'm not even sure that there'll be a clean sheet for Dubravka here. Obviously, it's a home fixture. Obviously, Newcastle are a lot better at home. I could play Areola, who's got a home fixture against Wolves, but West Ham have conceded a lot of goals today, and I don't even know if Areola will be back for that fixture. So let's say Dubravka's in there at the moment. Livramento, I'm going to probably play him. He's got Fulham at home. I've got Gabriel, who's got Brighton at home, and then I've got Tsimikas, who's got Man United at home. In the midfield 5, I've got Gordon, Son, Palmer, Saka, and Salah captain. And then up front, I've got Haaland and Watkins. Now, there's so many ways I can go. So first of all, I am looking at 2 scenarios. One scenario is Haaland's injured and misses game week 17 against Palace. If Haaland is injured, I'm thinking of downgrading Haaland to Solanke and bringing in Solanke because I was impressed with Solanke against Man United. I thought he terrorized Man United. Luke Shaw and Reguilon were on toast for majority of that game. Solanke's fixtures are also looking very nice, the next 3. So if Haaland is confirmed out and then he's got a blank in game week 18 as well, potentially misses 2 games, I could do Haaland Solanke as a move. If I hear Haaland's fit and he's going to play against Palace, which does look unlikely at this moment in time, my plan is Saliba out for Pedro Porro. So again, I'm unsure what to do because it depends on Haaland, all my plans. So I'll just show you guys, on the transfers page what I'm actually thinking of doing. So I do have 1 free transfer and 1.4 million in the bank. So I've got quite a bit of money to play with. So let's say Haaland is injured. Zoom in a bit. Let's say Haaland's injured. I'll take him out. And then the player I want to bring in, as I said, Dom Solanke, because I've just been impressed with the way he's playing. 6.6 million as well. Just come off with a goal against Man United for a 7-pointer. We're taking a look at his next fixtures. He's got Luton at home next, which again looks pretty nice on paper. After that is Forest and then Fulham. So the next 3, I'm quite happy to play him potentially. He's a bit of a differential as well, which will break the template. Obviously 7.7% owned. So he's the striker I'm looking at if I hear Haaland's out. There are other strikers you could look at. As you guys know, Darwin he's a bit of an enigma. People love him, or some people just don't want to go there. I'm still not completely against bringing him in. I know he's had a few disappointing. He's been a bit disappointing for those people that bought him in for Watkins. He hasn't really worked out. But again, against Palace, he had an XG of 0.48, which isn't great, I guess, but Liverpool weren't great at all, and I didn't think there was much supply line to Darwin anyway in that match. But he's still, again, I know the fixture against Man United looks tough, but the way Man United are playing, and we saw what happened last season as well, and Man United aren't in a great place right now as well. I'm not actually against bringing in Darwin to play him against Man United at home as well, because I do expect Darwin to start. And he's one of those players I still think, as I said with Son, my thinking is I want players that are getting chances. So it's whether he can convert them. Obviously, Son is an elite finisher. But with Darwin, but more likely it will be Solanke. Darwin's just a wild card. There is Jesus as well, which I mentioned. You could still go for very low owned. He got a goal and an assist against Luton. So he's someone that you could look at. Brighton at home. Obviously, Brighton are leaky, can't buy a clean sheet to save their life. You could go to Jesus. But I think Solanke, with the money, is at 6.6, good value for money. That would leave me with 8.8 million in the bank, which is mad. So yeah, and otherwise, what the plan is Saliba to Porro, who I've been talking about for quite some time, I think, a couple of weeks now, as a potential move. As you guys know, that watched the Chelsea game. Reece James was the one I spoke about as well. Reece James is just not. You just can't trust him. I thought, let me show. If he shows me some fitness, I'll think about it. As I said, but he's not really showing me that. He went off injured again after 27 minutes, and for me, definitely no go for Reece James. And Pedro Porro got an assist today. I believe that's now 6 assists for a season. That's now back-to-back assists as well against West Ham and Newcastle. So again, he's looking good. He's looking attacking. Fixtures are pretty decent as well. Forest, Everton, Brighton, Bournemouth in the next 4. So I'm quite happy to maybe go to Porro. That would leave me with 1.5 million in the bank as well. So I could take a hit. If I hear Haaland's injured, I could actually even do Solanke and Porro in and take a -4. I'm not against the -4 at all. So I do have a bit of FOMO for Porro, because I think Porro against Forest could be really nice. I was impressed the way he played today. Obviously, Udogie got the goal, but Porro's still a good option getting that assist. He's attacking as well. So yeah, those are the 2 players I'm looking at, Solanke and Porro. And in terms of the rest of the team, Salah against Man United, probably going to be the captain if Haaland's out. There is a case to be made. Do we go Son? Son's got Forest, and Forest have been struggling. And Son showed today that, he's back in with the goals. Spurs look very good. And then obviously Newcastle, we don't know what to expect from them as well with Fulham up next. So yeah, I'm looking at Salah captain as of now, but Son, you never know. I could change it to him. But yeah, that's the plans early, guys. Porro and Solanke for a -4 hit. Same to you, Jordan. Obviously, your team is a bit mad because, as you said, with some, I'm gonna take a few comments in a sec, but obviously there's a few flags. Talk us through what you're thinking right now in terms of plans for Gameweek 17.
Well, let's just see the damage. So we've got Leno in goal. He's got Newcastle away. Not preferably the fixture I want for him, because I see Newcastle scoring. So, but yeah, you never know with Leno. He has kept 2 clean sheets. In terms of the back 3, Tsimikas is the only playing defender I have currently. So there was a lot of work with that. Taylor, Luca Dean, Trippier, and Branthwaite. They're not flagged currently, but they will be soon. But yeah, they're all out. So Tsimikas is my only defender.
What are the chances of 4 of your 5 defenders all to be suspended at the same time?
Yeah, it could have been worse. Hwang could have got yellow card.
Hwang was 1 away, and was it in someone else as well? I think just Hwang. I think.
Yeah, I think it was just Hwang in terms of who's on 4 yellows. Yeah, I hate how easy it is to get yellows now this season. It has shown there's so many players on 4 yellows.
Yeah,
it's drastically affected. It will drastically affect FPL. I think a lot of our teams, because you've seen 4 defenders or 5 defenders out for me.
Yeah, 4.
4, sorry, yeah, 4 out. Tsimikas is my only playing defender, so
you're in -8 territory potentially. I know you were talking about -4. You're -8, -12. Dare I say
it? Yeah.
You can't get to 11 playing players, even with a hit.
No, it's hard to see what the team looks like because they're not all flagged, so it's hard to see the perspective of it. But yeah, it's not looking good.
Also, Tsimikas not guaranteed to start, says Sherwin. I mean, as a Liverpool fan, I do believe he'll start, but again, you can't count on that. So you could potentially have no starting defenders.
Well, that's it, guys. My FPL dreams are over.
All right,
so game, it's going to end me.
All right, and you've got Haaland to take care of if let's say Haaland is injured, which most likely I do believe Haaland won't be fit, because I just think Pep said in his press conference, or I think post game, they asked Pep, "What's the situation with Haaland?" He basically said, "We hope he'll be fine for the Club World Cup fixture, which is obviously against can't remember who they're playing, but that's the game week 18 blank. They're playing in another competition, so he wants him fit for that game. So even if I actually think even if Haaland is completely fine, the Palace, and he's fit and ready to go, he won't play. That's what I think. I think Haaland's 100% going to miss that game. So that's another player for you to take care of potentially in Haaland.
Well, that just leaves 6 players in my team: Salah, Mitoma, Saka, Hwang, Wissa, and Alvarez.
Yeah, that
And
is
Leno.
that is mad. So what? Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 players potentially. Yeah, 8 playing players.
If Tsimikas is a guaranteed start, then
Yeah.
8 playing players. But yeah, midfield wise, Salah, Mitoma, Saka, and Hwang. So there is a solid midfield there. And Wissa and Alvarez.
If Mitoma isn't benched, because that's another thing now, but he should start after the benching.
Yeah, he should start now. I expect him to start, especially with that rest he had in the Burnley fixture. And Wissa, Alvarez, and Haaland probably not going to start. So probably Wissa and Alvarez up front. I'm not really set on Wissa against Aston Villa at home. If he can't get anything against Sheffield United, and the way Brentford played in that game, that doesn't fill me with confidence with Aston Villa at all. So in terms of bench, Ariello is flagged. We have to see. I might actually play him if he's fit for that Wolves at home one. Can't say anything else for the rest of the bench because none of it's going to play for Gameweek 17. So I might as well move on to the transfer page.
Hold on, just before you move on to transfers, I am gonna read out some comments and I'll let you do that. We've got SJ who says, "Hello all, 68 points. I'm into top 5k. Wow, brilliant. 54 points for me, but today was rough with Newcastle assets, especially Trippier getting that yellow. Another Everton clean sheet for Mikalenko. Yeah, Everton carry on their great form at home. I have to find a way in the next few weeks to get Spurs assets back. Tricky Trees, congrats on the 1k subscribers, fellas. Yeah, as you guys may have noticed, last night, I do believe we hit 1,000 subscribers. So again, I want to congratulate everyone in the chat as well. Thank you guys for subscribing to us, getting us to that 1,000 subscriber count. You know, when we started this channel 2 years ago, I never thought we'd ever hit 1,000 subscribers. So there is 1,000 of you out there that have subscribed to us. So brilliant feeling, brilliant for the channel. Yeah, thank you to you guys. As I said, we couldn't have done it without you guys, really. And yeah, I hope we can carry on growing as a community, and hopefully you guys do enjoy the content we put out. And yeah, hopefully, we can get to 2k now. So yeah, thank you guys again. And yeah, really appreciate all your support and love since day one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a very fun experience so far, and very many more fun experiences to come. And it's quite convenient because it was our 2-year anniversary from December the 7th when we uploaded our first video. So it's kind of a nice timing to hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, we hit in 2 years and 2 days to be exact. So yeah, it's good. Tricky Trees, rough week with vice captain on Alvarez, though Son helped out a bit. Oh yeah, that is rough.
Right. Yeah.
With the Alvarez. Yeah.
Could be worse.
Yeah, could have been worse. But yeah, as a Chelsea fan, my assets, Sterling benched. Yeah, we'll come on to Chelsea. Sterling was benched. Yep, and Sanchez got injured today. Colwell was also benched and came on for Reece James. Got to be rough, but everyone who owns him are going to do him to Porro, potentially. From 80k to 22k, thanks to Leno, Porro, and Son, says Fruit Plug. Great.
Lovely.
Shot up to 11k. What an exciting game week as well, says Spaghetti and Beans. Yeah, I mean, 4 of your 5 defenders are suspended, Jordan, and
yeah,
I mean that is mad. That's just a mad coincidence, really, for that to happen at the same game week.
Yeah, I won't be here for Game Week 17. You'll see me in Game Week 18, but I'll
taking a sabbatical.
Yeah.
Sherwin, hi guys, well done on 1k subscribers. Thank you, Sherwin. Always appreciate it. Jenny, hi guys, I've already transferred Haaland for Solanke, captain Mo Salah. Don't go early, guys. I will say one thing: hold those transfers because you never know. Pep and his mind games. Haaland could be fine, and we won't know. So, I normally don't say go early. So sorry, I normally say go early if you're sure of what you want to do. But there's still so much info that can come out because there is a 1 week left before the next deadline. So it's a Saturday deadline. We've got that whole midweek. Man City also playing the Champions League in midweek. So we're going to get a press conference from Pep. So I advise don't go early, guys. Looking to get Van der Ven back. Already have Romero. Not sure on a double up or in terms of a Spurs defense. I'd prefer the Udogie or the Van der Porro as attacking threat.
Yeah, it almost looked like Romero was going to get a red card in that game.
Yeah, what did you think of that? Did you think that was a red?
Yeah, I thought that was a red. I thought that's him gone, Romero. That would have been his, I think, 5th red card.
5th red this calendar year, I think. Yeah, something like that, 4th or 5th. But yeah, I thought it was a red, you know. That guy is a bit reckless, but
yeah,
that's the way he plays the game, I guess. Tendai, hey lads, bought in Decore and Porro and ignored Palmer. Vice Captain Salah, yeah, I mean, brilliant, because obviously Decore ends up getting a goal yet again. And then obviously Porro got an assist. So yeah, well done. Yeah, Mr. Blanky, should I sell Haaland or wait for concrete news? I have Reece James. I want to get rid of him, but for Porro. But if Haaland's out, I wanted to bring Trent or Trippier. Definitely wait, Mr. Blanky, because as I said, Man City play a Champions League game midweek. So Pep will have to be asked questions. He will be asked, about Haaland and what the situation is. So, don't do anything early. Is my advice.
Especially with with Trippier being suspended now for next game week. That kind of rules him out for your plan to bring him in if you chose to pick him in for this next game week, because he won't play it. But yeah, Trent's a good option still.
Okay, Jordan, going back into your team, I'm going to give you 2 scenarios. First one is Haaland is injured. So first, I want to see what your plans would be if Haaland's out. We know he's out for let's say 2 game weeks. He misses 17 and he blanks for 18. What are you doing?
Well, I think my transfer plans literally got out the window now, because I might as well just show you what I was going to do, but I'm not going to do it anymore. I was going to take him Burma out, because obviously he's not going to play. He's got a blank in 18 anyway. And I was going to bring Decore in as a differential this week, because he has Burnley and he comes off back-to-back goals. And the way Everton are playing, Decore, you think he's on 8 goals now this season, I believe. No, sorry, 6 goals and 2 assists. Yeah. So he's had a nice season so far. A bit underlooked for Everton, because I believe they would be 10th in the table without that reduction. Yeah. So they've been pretty good this season. But yeah, he would have been my first transfer in. My next transfer would be Luca Dean out and bringing in Pedro Porro as a pick in terms of Spurs assets. I think I'll need 1 or 2. So he was going to be my second free transfer, as I do have 2 free. But
you've got 2 free transfers, haven't you?
Yeah, I got 2 free transfers, but with these now suspensions from Trippier, from Branthwaite, and Taylor, and potentially Haaland not playing, that's just thrown all the transfer plans out the window now. I'm just going to probably consider free hitting, I think. I'm probably going to be forced into free hitting this week. I don't think taking a minus whatever is going to help.
Okay, so let's say reset your team back to what it is. Out of those 5 defenders, how many do you want long term? Is the question.
I definitely want Branthwaite long term. And Trippier, I don't know with Trippier now. It's probably just Branthwaite, I think. In terms of defenders.
Are we being knee-jerky though with Trippier? It's 2 games. Well, obviously, he hasn't performed. He has done well. He's got hauls and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I would only play Trippier. I think if I still have Trippier, I would only play him for home games. I think I would bench him for away. So I don't know if it's worth keeping him. It's just the away from for Newcastle. It just showed against Spurs tonight how bad it really is.
What can you get to with a -4? How would your team look with a -4? Let's say how many would you get out? Can you get 11 out with a -4? Let's say you do Luca Dean to Porro, if that's the move, and Burmo to Decore. And what else would you have done? Let's say you do another. Let's say you leave Haaland bench and hope he plays. If he doesn't, and then do another transfer in defense, maybe a Taylor out or a Tsimikas out. But let's say Taylor out. How much would that? You could still do a move. Taylor out for another defender. How much would that give you?
4.9 to do another transfer.
Yeah. Well, is there any other defender you'd want though? Really? Obviously, right now defenders is a bit of got a minefield because there's not really any good options.
I really wanted to avoid making defender transfers. I really, really would. I don't like the fact I'm taking a -4 to bring in 2 defenders just to save this starting 11. It's just not ideal. There's no defender I want either. There's only Pedro Porro I wanted.
And you didn't even want him last game a couple of days ago because you were like, nah, I don't want Pedro Porro.
No, that time I didn't really want him because I couldn't afford him as well at the time. And yeah, I think after tonight's game, he seems to be Spurs' assets seem to be viable as well. But yeah, it looks like I'm free hitting. I really didn't want to use it so early on, but I have no other choice.
You could do a Chelsea defender, like a Colwell.
I still wouldn't go there with Chelsea. It's a nightmare. Sanchez injured, Reece James injured. I'm not going there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's just a mess.
You're in a bit of a pickle. 4 of your 5 defenders all suspended, and obviously Haaland most likely to miss out as well. So if you was to free hit it though, what would you do? You could go Arsenal defender Zinchenko. If you can afford it, I don't think you can with 4.9 anyway. You'd probably have to sell Tsimikas.
Yeah, I'd probably have to sell Tsimikas.
Oh, sorry, Trippier, because Tsimikas has a game, so he's only playing.
Yeah, well, it would save a lot of money. Trippier taken out because he's suspended anyway. But it is looking like free hit territory. I haven't really given much thought what my free hit would look like, but I could probably go through it quickly. And I'll probably bring Trent in, actually.
Trent on a free hit.
Yeah, why not?
You could do Trent in like permanent, because you could take Trippier out and do Trent for a -4. I don't. Would you have the money? I think you would have the money. Oh, you wouldn't even have the money to do it.
Yeah, I'd be a bit short of money, but I think for the free hit, I'll bring Trent in. That's I feel pretty good about that. And yeah, for the rest of the defense,
because it's not. I mean, how would your team look like in game week 18 though? When they're all back, what the fixture's like in game week 18, because Trippier will be back. Because a lot of people, I think, will free hit in game week 18. Like, obviously, if you go 1 week early, because then what you have to understand, obviously, for game week 18, you'll have the 2 blanks for Man City, Haaland and Alvarez. You'll have an issue next week as well, because you'll have 2 Man City players that blank. You'll have Whistler that blanks. Your whole forward line is going to blank in game week 18.
Yes, that is another issue which will have to.
You're in a bit of a. I don't know how you sort this out, because I just realized you've got 3 players up front that all blank. So once you free hit, your team comes back, you're gonna have 1 free transfer as well, because when you do a free hit, obviously you'll burn a transfer. You'll have 1 the week after, so you're gonna have to take like minus. You're gonna have to take like a -4, minus. Maybe a -8. You won't have 11 next week either.
I think it'll be a -4 because I put Haaland, Alvarez, and Whistle on the bench, and probably have to take a -4 to bring.
You have to play a forward though. You'll have to play at least 1 forward.
Yeah, I'll have to take someone. I'll probably take Alvarez out for Watkins if I have the money, but because he has a decent fixture. I really need to think about this guy because I have no idea.
This is exactly why I avoided Sterling. I avoided Sterling because he's on 4 yellows. I avoided Huang because he's on 4 yellows. And I avoided those 2. I was looking at Sterling as a serious option, even though I know he got benched today. But I know he's on 4 yellows, and that's why I avoided him. The 4 yellows thing.
Yeah, at the same time, I wouldn't have got the points from these players. And I don't know what position I would be in if I didn't have these players either. I don't know if it would be a good or bad scenario.
It's just a bad timing where every single one at the same time has been yellow carded. But you did transfer in. I mean, you've had most of your defenders. If you go back to reset, you've had majority of your defenders for a while, haven't you? You've not really made any defender transfers for a while.
No, not made. I've only made any. I've made forwards and midfielders pretty much. Because not be considered defense.
I think one potential, obviously, this is with hindsight. Maybe you should have started shifting out Digne earlier. But I know he got the 2 clean sheets back to back, but you didn't play him for those clean sheets. So maybe remove him and got a playing defender in earlier. But it's just unlucky, I guess.
I still had problems because I had Bone that was not sure if he was fit or not. I had Watkins, which wasn't sure he was fit or not because that was the week.
Yeah.
that was the week I was going to take Ukadin out, but then I wasn't sure whether they would both play or not. So, especially Alvarez, because of these flags, I was going to take Alvarez out after Crystal Palace, but not even sure what to do now with him with the blank in 18.
This Alvarez for Solanke and Dina to Porro. Shouts here from Tendai.
Yeah, at what cost though? It'll be like a -8 or -4. It'd just be heavy.
Are you okay with not having 11 basically? Because you could get away with not having 11 because let's be honest, a lot of these defenders are getting 1-pointers anyway. If we're being honest, really, because like, you see our defense this week, 1-pointer, -1 from Trippier. So you could just play midfielders and forwards and pray that no defenders return, which really haven't. Most defenders are blanking anyway, unless you got a Bramthwaite, obviously. But
yeah,
is this whether you think you need 11?
Yeah, I don't know if I need 11 or not for Gameweek 17 or not, but at the same time, where my position is in rank, going without an 11 could.
You could, yeah.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
I want to bring up the fixtures, actually. These are the fixtures for game week 17. Where do you see clean sheets as well, really? Do you see a clean sheet for Nottingham Forest Spurs? Do you see a clean sheet here for Spurs? Possibly.
Not particularly. Not for an away game for Spurs. I mean,
and then you got Bournemouth Luton as well.
Yeah, I do see a clean sheet for Bournemouth there, but again, not sure. I mean, even if I do take defenders for -4, I'll have to be certain they get a clean sheet because otherwise it won't be worth taking it for defenders. So,
Chelsea, Sheffield, you don't know what you're going to get from Chelsea.
I'm not trusting that.
City Palace, I think you could see a clean sheet there for City potentially. Newcastle, Fulham, maybe. But again, Fulham are on a roll right now.
They are on the roll, but then Newcastle at home are pretty good. So I do see a clean sheet there for them.
Burnley, Everton, what do you reckon here? Everton clean sheet with an away game?
No, I think Burnley can put one behind Everton.
Then on Sunday, we've got it's a Friday deadline, actually. I just realised. It's a Friday deadline, not a Saturday deadline for game week 17. So Arsenal, Brighton. I don't see a clean sheet.
No.
Maybe for Arsenal, I wouldn't rule it out. But again, Brighton do score goals. So probably like a 2-1 or 3-1 sort of game for Arsenal. Brentford, Aston Villa, I don't see a clean sheet. Actually, maybe for Aston Villa defender, I don't rule it out because they've just kept back-to-back clean sheets now. And Brentford just lost 1-0. So they are struggling a bit. No Mbeumo.
Sheffield kept one. So, yeah, there's hope for Aston Villa.
Yeah, or just bring in attacking defenders. And Liverpool, Man United, I know a lot of people aren't, a lot of people are saying Tsimikas could get rotated out. I think Tsimikas will play, and I don't see why Liverpool can't keep a clean sheet. I know Liverpool do concede some chances in games, but Man United, have struggled a lot this season. So I wouldn't completely rule out a Liverpool clean sheet. West Ham have just conceded 5, so that's going to be tough. And Wolves don't really keep clean sheets either. So if you do bring in a defender, maybe bring on in like a Porro potentially that does have some threat. Udogie.
Yeah. Well, that's why I wanted to bring in Trent, perhaps Pedro Porro or Udogie, and maybe a Bournemouth defender. But I wouldn't look anywhere else for defenders really.
Yeah, for sure.
Those fixtures. But yeah, there's a lot of you in the chat recommending me advice. So Neil was saying if I take a -4 for a defender, then that defender would need a clean sheet or goal bonus and spread. Yeah, that's exactly what my thinking is, Neil, on that. If I need to be certain, or the defender needs to get a clean sheet for me to even make it worthwhile. So yeah. Roman says Mbeumo out, and I think Jordan can get away with 8 or 9 players for a week and having 2 transfers for the Black Game Week. Yeah, I could get away with 8 or 9 players, but then I'd need to have a really good game week from those 8 or 9 players for it to be worthwhile. Again, still, because there is still other players in my team, like Son could easily get like a haul like he did this week. I didn't have Son for this week, and yeah, it did it did give me a green arrow, but not much of a green arrow. So there's dangerous players like that, Watkins as well. And I need to consider as threats. So yeah, it's a lot of potential. Whether 8 or 9 players is enough for that game week, because around my rank, some people could have 11.
I think most people will have an 11.
Yeah.
Or maybe because there'll be other people with the likes of Taylor and stuff, but they probably have a bench. Neil also congratulating us for the 1K followers. Thank you, Neil. Really appreciate it. Your support. Obviously, you've been with us for a while as well. So yeah, thank you guys for all your kind words. Obviously, and getting the 1K is a big, it's a big deal for us, I guess. Doing this YouTube thing that we do. Only guaranteed clean sheet this week is Liverpool. I mean, it's interesting. So you say that, but
I mean, it's
never know in these type of games.
Yeah, I mean, I like it because at Anfield, and any team that comes to Anfield is struggling, and Man United have struggled.
Yeah, I don't Man United will struggle in that match because the way they're just playing. Man United got a tough game. They've got Bayern Munich midweek and then Liverpool. Like this could get ugly for Man United.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't bank on a clean sheet for Liverpool because Liverpool do give up chances as well. Obviously, Man United will be missing Bruno, another player, Bruno Fernandes, 5 yellows now. So obviously you don't have him, but
thankfully
he's another player. I don't know how highly owned he is, but another one that misses out.
I think he's still above 10%. Trent could be tricky if you then want to bring back Erling Haaland. Yeah, I thought the price he is, Trent.
Yeah. And I think a lot of us have to have 2 plans. We have to have one Erling plan if he's fit and one if he's not fit. So have 2 plans, guys, for your squads. And depending on what is the early, that's what I think is going to dictate what you actually do. It all depends on Erling Haaland for me and whether he's fit. Because if he's not fit, I'm taking him out. I'm pretty sure. Because then he's going to blank in 18. That's 2 games. Yeah. I just need to find a way to bring him back in. So if I just switch over back to my team.
Yeah. And Haaland hasn't risen in price, has he? At all?
He's still not really. Million? He's 14.
Oh, 14. So yeah, it doesn't really matter if you take him out or not because he hasn't risen in price, so you don't lose any money on him.
So just taking a look at Haaland's fixtures, they are pretty nice now. Man City's fixtures. Palace, which you might miss. Then he'll have a blank. Then it's Everton, and then it's Sheffield. So Everton away, the tough game. I think that's a tough game now. I know it says green here, but with the way Everton are playing at home, and Everton's defense looking a lot stronger, that might not be such an easy game. And then after that, Sheffield, you probably want him for Sheffield at home in game week 20, where you want him back for around then. But you have to figure out how to bring him back in and leave yourself enough money. So let's say you do bring in a Trent. That will take up your money to potentially lock you out of a Haaland. I'm just going to see with my team how it would look. So let's say Haaland's injured. I take Haaland out. I bring in Dom Solanke. Right? Let's say I do Pedro Porro in for Saliba as well for a hit. Right? And then I've got 8.9 million. And then next week, let's say game week 18, when Liverpool play Arsenal, do I want to bring Trent in for Arsenal at home? Possibly, because Trent, he's one of those players that can perform in a lot of games. Would I rather bring in Trippier, who's got Luton? Probably you rather bring in Trippier, but the way Trent's playing and the way Newcastle are looking right now, I don't know. Because that you could just bring in a Trippier instead of a Trent. So let's say I take Tsimikas out. Let's say I go to Trippier, just because he's got Luton, and that's the way I go. Then game week 18 is a blank, so I've not got to worry about that. Game week 19, when I want Haaland back, if I sell Solanke, I've got 13.2, and I can't afford Haaland. So that is the worry. I'll have to downgrade somewhere, and I don't really know where. Because if I bring Trippier in, it blocks me from bringing back Haaland, sort of, if you know what I mean. Unless I sell Watkins, which I don't think I want to do. With the way Aston Villa are right now. In game week 18, he's got a really good fixture. Man United, I don't think that's a tough game. Burnley, Everton, Newcastle, Sheffield, Man United again. I think Watkins might even be a long-term hold at this point. The way that Aston Villa are looking like a top 14 these days. So, yeah.
Would Saka be a sell, essentially? The Saka's only had 5 goals this season. He's matched McTominay in terms
He's
of
eight,
goals.
8 assists though. I know he's not had as many goals. It's the assists that he does get, and he's one of those players. For me, he's never getting benched. He's never getting rotated. He's always going to play no matter what because he's their main man. That's why I'm hesitant to remove Saka because I know he's going to get the minutes regardless. I know he has not looked great in terms of the goal threat, but I'm still against selling him just because I know he's going to play 90 minutes. And fixtures after 8-19 look pretty decent. West Ham, Fulham, Palace, Forest. But yeah, that is my decision really. I think if I remove Haaland, I don't know how I get Trippier in or Trent. Definitely not Trent because I don't have enough money. How would you move it out? Let's say I do want to bring Trippier in. Who do you take out in my team to enable me to do this Porro, Trippier, Son, Salah, Haaland thing? Because also one thing to take into account with Salah, we might have to sell Salah soon as well, guys. Because Salah goes to AFCON in game 21. So in game 21, Salah's off, African Cup of Nations. He'll miss Bournemouth, Chelsea, Arsenal. These are some tough games for Liverpool. So I hope, obviously, as a Liverpool fan, obviously, I want Salah to do well, but I need him to be back for these games, and hopefully Egypt don't go too far into the competition. So Salah could miss these 3 games, and obviously that will be a big blow going to the Emirates without Mo Salah potentially. So yeah, we may have to consider selling Salah as well, guys. That's another thing to take into account. And obviously, in your case, also I should mention Son. Son goes to Asia Cup, I think in game week 21, and he could miss 21, 22, 23. So we might have loads of money if we sell Salah, Son, and Haaland who's injured. We could be rich, basically.
That would be a nice.
That's just a long headache, though, having to take them out, and you're going to want these players back in potentially. If you sell Salah, you'll want him back. I'm pretty sure.
I've got migraine as it is at the moment.
Yeah, because after that, Burnley, Brentford, Luton, Forest for Salah in that run-in looks quite nice. 24, 25, 26, 27. So, yeah. And also, you've got the other issue with Hwang, because Hwang goes to the Asia Cup as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard pickings with suspensions, other competitions. It's going to be very short for choice, I think, come later on in the season who we pick, who we go for. We have a lot of money, but it just depends on who we really go for.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of taking players out and then bringing them back in potentially with Salah, Son, and Haaland.
Yeah, and we've already used our wild cards, so it's a bit of a tricky situation doing that with just transfers.
I mean, you'll get another one obviously after game week 19, but how early when we use it, we've not really. No one's really thought about that second wild card when we're going to play, etc.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, in terms for me for game week 17, I think I'm going to go with what Neil said in the chat. I think, yeah, I might take a free hit and not take a -4 damage limitation, I think, this week. Using it earlier than planned. But
can you go on FPL Planner? And I want to see what your team looks like for game week 18. If you actually free hit. So I'll let you do that for a sec while you load that up. I'm going to take a few comments. I agree. I think it's between Watkins and Nunes. As for me, as I'm already a Solanke owner, I think Watkins, I still prefer Watkins, but I don't know. Nunes, obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan, and I am a big Nunes fan, as you guys know in the chat. And I just think Nunes, he's going to get a haul. Whenever it is, I don't know. I keep saying this every time, I feel like, for a couple of weeks, and it's not really worked out for owners. But I think they've been a bit unlucky as well. Liverpool, he does get chances, but again, I'm not against him, but I would prefer Watkins, I still think, over Nunes. But I still think Nunes is a good option if you are going different, because he might get you a couple goals out of nowhere in it against Man United. We saw last season, actually. I think Nunes did score twice against Man United in the 7-0, a couple of headers. So I still back Nunes as a decent option. It's just the owners, I think, have been a bit unlucky. Tripp is only good for the next 3 weeks. Not sure. He might be good again from 3rd Jan, but I haven't given him much thought. Tendai also says you have to keep Saka. Are we overlooking Fulham as well? Surely it's time to capitalize with some of the big players not doing well. Yeah, I mean, Fulham, Andres Pereira, obviously, Jordan, infamously, you owned.
Yeah,
And Pereira's been of a bit of a he's got a couple of hauls, hasn't he? I'm just looking now. To be fair, he only got 6-pointer today, but before that, it was a 15-pointer.
yeah. So
And he's got
21 points.
yeah, and he's only 5.3. Who would you go to though at Fulham? Like, would you go to Andreas? I'm not sure. I would go to a Fulham player if I'm being honest.
Either Andreas or William. I think because I believe William's on pens. I could be wrong with
Yeah,
that though. But
yeah, he's on pens.
I like him because he's on pens, but he can score from open play as well.
His minutes aren't great. He doesn't always play 90 though. One thing about him. Raul, obviously, Jimenez up front. If you want a cheap striker, did score today. Scored 2 against Forest as well. I think he's looking like a better option. And I remember a couple of years ago for Wolves, he was a brilliant option. And he's quite cheap, and he's one that could be interesting. You know, if you instead of going Solanke, if you want to break the template a bit more, because I think Solanke will be more popular due to the fixtures. But he does have Newcastle next in an away game, so I don't know. But after that, Burnley, Bournemouth don't look too bad. So Jimenez could be decent. But yeah, Solanke is the one that I think people will be looking at as well, of course. And I am looking at Solanke myself. I just think Solanke, he's on pens. He's going to play 90 minutes. He pretty much does every single game. 8 goals already so far this season. Luton, Forest, Fulham. And after that, it gets a bit tougher. But you could get Haaland back in after. You just have to find the money to switch it up. Which basically will mean I can't get Trent or Trippier to do Solanke back to Haaland, as I said. Wilson, nah, I'm not going there. I just think, yeah, Wilson came on, got an assist, but Isak, Wilson, they're just too much rotation for me. I'm not going there personally. What about you, Jordan? Would you go there or?
No, not with both of them back. Like when Wilson was out injured, yeah, Isak becomes a great option because he has no rotation risk between Wilson. But because both of them are back, Eddie Howe likes to play one or the other and rest one or the other. So it's a bit of a rotation headache where you don't know who's going to start and who isn't for Newcastle when you've got Isak and Wilson in the team.
Also, do want to just quickly point out, if you guys are still watching the stream, if you are enjoying the content, please do smash the like button. Really helps support the channel and helps grow the community as well. So all your likes are appreciated. It really helps the channel. Also, we've obviously passed 1,000 subscribers as well, so a big achievement for this channel and for you guys for all subscribing to us. It really helps, again, grow the channel. And if you haven't already, if you're watching on a playback, do hit that subscribe button as well if you can. Much appreciated, guys. But I think we are probably going to wrap it up soon. Anything else you guys want to discuss? Or there's a few comments actually I've left out that I should probably read out. Roman says Nunes gets 2 against United and KDB will be an option by AFCON. Yeah, I mean, KDB is another one that we haven't thought about when he's back. Who knows what kind of form he's going to come back into. Is free hit more of a punt though? Rather taking a hit for players you're going to need anyway with the game so close together. Maybe a free hit is a temporary fix.
I mean, yeah. It is kind of like a punt as well to go on the players I don't have that I wish I would in 18 as well. Like Son, I think missing out on his points has quite affected the rank, especially this week. But yeah, I think in terms of a free hit, I mean, it's earlier than I plan to use it, but it might be the right time to use it for me.
It might be. Yeah, it might be because obviously I'm not against free hitting after that anyway, like in 18 possibly. Let's just see though. Let's say you do free hit and just do if you just click the free hit button at the bottom, I believe there's like a free hit button, and then you go into next week. What is your team looking like for 18? Because obviously you'll get your same team back if you just go next. See, you'll have a couple of blanks. You'll have 10 playing players, but you'll have 1 free transfer. So you could do Alvarez to whoever.
So yeah, it will probably be to Watkins, who has actually.
You can't afford it, I don't think. You can get.
I can't afford it, so I might have to take a -4. Which.
How would you do that then? Who would it be?
Actually, probably in Burma out.
Mm.
Because they're not going to play still, and by that time probably Who would be
cheap,
good to bring in?
cheap midfielder, 5.7. I don't know who's around that price. There's quite a few.
Yeah.
Obviously, you'll have to check around that time, but there's quite a few options at that price. But is that something you probably would do then?
Yeah, that's probably something I would do. I think that's the minimal amount of damage to get the team through these next 2 weeks.
Yeah,
especially these short-term fixture runs.
you could even go like even for like a Aston Villa player. Obviously, Douglas Luiz is quite interesting. Done well on pens.
He's also a person that's suspended as well from.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot. But he'll be back for 18.
Yeah, he'll be back for 18 for the Sheffield United one.
Yeah,
he could be a nice differential. That's one of those fixtures where Douglas Luiz could get a massive haul in. So yeah, he could be an option too. But yeah, I think that's the route I'm going with. Looking like a free hit route and then taking a -4 to sort the blank out in 18.
Calvin as well. Congrats on reaching 1K. Yeah, thank you, Calvin. Obviously,
Thanks,
been known you for a while now since sort of when we started this channel. So yeah, thank you for supporting us. And thank you to everyone as well that's been with us. Whether you're new watching or whether you've been with us for a while, we all appreciate the support. McTominay, SJ, I don't know if he's being sarcastic. Probably is. I got a question. When you both make transfers, do you ever get put off by others owning them, or does it not matter to you? To be fair, I don't try look into it too much. If there's a player I like, I wouldn't look at his ownership too much. But obviously, sometimes I would want a differential just to be a bit different, because I don't want to just have the same players as everyone. I guess 10 players. I know you don't like getting. I know you like being different as well, because obviously to get up and in the rank, you do need a couple of differential players.
Yeah, definitely. I think for this season for me, because last season I was pretty template. I like to go with players that a lot of people owned a lot, because I thought they would do well, and because everyone else owned them, I just assumed that this player's gonna do well. But I've learned a lot in terms of what last season was compared to this season, and I like to go different to what other people are going for. Like with Wang, for example, when he had obviously Burnley, he did score, and I transferred him for that week, so that's when his ownership was below 10%. So I do like to see what players are differentials to go for that not other players are looking at the current moment.
Zigor as well, congrats on 1K. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. And then also we've got Malte. Hope I said your name right. Thanks for the content. Thank you guys for watching. And we are going to wrap it up here. We've just gone over an hour. So if you are still in the stream, hit that like button. Anyone watching on a playback as well, make sure you do comment on the video as well if you can go back, and it just helps out the algorithm. And we will see you guys shortly. Could you suggest some things for my team? We can, but we'll probably have to do it on Discord. So if you do send us a message on our Discord, it's in the chat, it's in the description, where you can message us or even tweet us your team, and we'll answer it on there on a message. So that's it from us. Thank you guys. I really appreciate all of you for tuning in into this mad stream. It's been a great stream. I think it's been a lively one. A lot to discuss. Obviously, game week 17 is coming fast. It's approaching on Friday deadline, so don't go anywhere. We'll be here as always, providing the content. We'll be back Tuesday for a little transfer tips stream. And big stream. Obviously, hit that 1K. And thank you to all of you guys for watching. And anything else you want to add, Jordan, before we wrap it up?
Yeah, it's been emotional. Obviously, we're hitting 1,000 subs, and obviously had this game week gone. Hopefully, you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Sure, tune in for the Tuesday transfer tips video, and especially tune in for the deadline stream where you can see me have an emotional breakdown when the deadline comes.
I don't know what you're gonna do for that.
You might find I'm completely bald by the time it's Friday deadline. But tune in for those streams for obviously upcoming, and then until then, take care, and we'll see you very soon.